Okay, so today I was online and I was looking over at Essence magazine, and I saw on Essence on the cover it had Tia Mowry, and the article states Tia Mowry loves herself. You can't make this stuff up. And I just thought about all the stuff she's gone through since 2022 when she announced her divorce to her husband until now. And I just thought that that was a aptly named title because throughout this whole thing, she has come across as a person who just solely loves themselves. And I'm sure they meant something else with the title, but okay, let's get into it. Anyway, I'm not trying to be mean. First, let me preface this because I want the feminists to get mad at me. I love Tia and Tamara. Used to go home after school and watch Sister Sister. I always loved them. Actually, I believe their careers should be bigger than what they are now because I always thought they were supremely talented. And I always thought they had great relationships and they were just great consummate actresses. But when Tia, back in 2022, decided to get rid of her husband, get rid of her marriage. Now, this is a 22-year relationship that she decided to get rid of. She met him when she was 20. I think they was married for 14 years. Now, that's okay. People fall out of love. Things like that happen. It's okay to get divorced. That's not the issue. You know, people fall out of love all the time. Things happen. Crazy things happen in marriage. People, it's hard. Marriage is a hard thing. Don't get me started on it. Marriage is extremely hard sometimes, and people just don't know how hard it is sometimes. But the problem I had with her marriage is, first of all, you made it public, and I know she's a public figure, but a lot of times you can just say, hey, we're getting divorced. I'm not going to explain nothing. Give us privacy, respect our privacy at this time. That's what a lot of standard people would do. This lady went on a world tour. You can't make this up. She went on a world tour during her divorce. And that was the craziest thing. It caught me off guard. It caught a lot of people off guard. She just went on a world tour, started going on all kinds of shows and podcasts, celebrating the divorce.
My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. Yeah. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration.
And the thing that caught me off guard was it wasn't like, oh, my husband was mean, abusive, or anything like that. There was no reason. It was just, hey, I found myself, or I worked through my traumas, and I decided, let me go blow up my family. Which is okay. People do that. I mean, if you look at the world, especially in America now, the majority of divorces are initiated by the wife now. And it's not because of infidelity or abuse, which a lot of people would assume all the time, which a lot of people assumed when she said that Corey did something, which he didn't. But a lot of women are coming out now just saying, hey, like she said, I found myself, or a lot of people are saying, I found myself, or I just need a new me, or he wasn't my person. That's a good one. But I don't know if people understand the sanctity of marriage anymore. I mean, it's not what it used to be, but it's just a crazy thought. And I remember her going on all these talk shows talking about graduating from marriage. It was a graduation. She felt her marriage was a success. And I just thought that was the craziest thing at the time because it's like, you're getting divorced. That's a fail. It's not a success. And then what you're getting divorced for is nothing. Basically, hey, he didn't do anything wrong to me. I want to blow my family up because I've been working on myself and I'm loving myself more. This seems so disingenuous and so selfish. And I'm not trying to be mean, but that's how it sounds. That's how it sounds. Like, hey, because imagine if the guy, let's say Corey just got up on media and said, hey, I'm divorcing my wife Tia. She didn't do nothing wrong. This was internal. I was looking at myself and I decided I could work on myself. Man, I'm just going to blow up my family and I'm just working on me. I found like my marriage was a graduation. You think that would have went over as well as if she said it? No. And I remember she was on a talk show saying that sometimes as women you only worry about everybody else's happiness and not your own. I think that's the same with men. And I don't think people forget that because men are always viewed as automatons and loved for what they can do. But that's what men do all the time. We will put our health on the line. We work ourselves to death to provide for our families. whether we're hurt, we keep our emotions to ourselves because, a lot of times women don't want to hear that. So we keep our emotions to ourselves, the stress to ourselves, and we work ourselves to death in order to provide and keep your family happy. And maybe they had different dynamics because maybe she made a little bit more money at first than him. So maybe that was a different dynamic. Maybe that seeped into a little bit of resentment, maybe. Who knows? But for you to be like, oh, I only looked at everybody else's happiness and not my own. I think your husband was doing the same thing, and I think that's what a lot of people do who are the adults in a relationship, is you focus on the other person's happiness all the time. Just like the old saying, happy wife, happy life. A lot of guys focus on the wife's happiness. I just found it absurd at the time when she divorced, when she went on the world tour. She was everywhere, talking about she graduated. It was a successful marriage by breaking it up. And I just thought that was crazy at the time. And I will commend Corey at the time because he didn't say anything. He was cool through the whole time, and I guess they kept trying to ask him about it, and he had nothing but nice things to say about his wife or ex-wife. And he said, I'm never going to talk about her. And I thought that was very commendable. Plus, we all know if he did say anything, he would have got crucified, because that's just the way the media is now. If you're a dude, you better be quiet. Don't say nothing mean about your ex, or you're going to get crucified when you're in the public. But he was nice, and he's been rewarded. He's doing better in his career than he ever has in his whole life, and he can move on. Now, I would like to see what happens when he does find somebody, how she's going to react, because now you've seen her. She's parlayed this whole world tour into having her a docuseries. What is that? Tia Mowry, the Next Act, or something like that? An 8-part docuseries where she's talking about, she's in there talking about her life now and speed dating and going on dates and stuff. I've seen her a while ago complaining about dating now and how chivalry is dead and men aren't courting her like they were back in the past. Well, you ain't been in the dating pool in 20 years, over 20 years. It's different now. The streets are different. The streets, it's just not fun being out dating right now. And I just think that you had something good at home. You had a guy that, by your own admission, he wasn't doing nothing bad to you. So just because you felt some type of way about yourself, you imploded your family, and now you're out there trying to find what you already had. I don't know if that makes sense. And maybe some of you, guys, let me know in the comments. Is that a thing now? Is it cool to just blow up your whole marriage? Because I just feel like sometimes it's narcissistic. Well, hey, I'm just working on myself. But I think when you're married, you're one. Aren't you supposed to work on it together? Hey, I'm feeling this way, or I'm working through my traumas. Let's go to therapy together. Shit, I've been to marriage counseling. I've been to marriage therapy. It works. It works wonders. But I think when you're one, you should work together. Instead of making huge decisions like that just based off of how you feel alone, because it doesn't just affect you, it affects your spouse and it affects your children. And maybe this was her ideal to begin with all along. Like, hey, I get rid of him and my fame goes up. Because I think she was kind of stagnant at the time. I mean, she'd been having steady work, but she blew up though. She blew up off of the divorce thing. That really put her back in the limelight again. And she's milked it and got a docuseries, and she did the whole circuit of podcasts and shows. So I don't know how to feel about it. But I just thought it was funny going online and seeing her on Essence, and the title was Tia Mowry Loves Herself, and I just thought that was hilarious because it pretty much seems that's what she's been talking about all these years. This is since she announced her divorce, was loving herself and finding herself. And I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it, did you think it was just a narcissistic thing? Or was it a power move? Was she just trying to get a docuseries? Or I don't know. It just seems odd that we celebrate these type of things now. It's a graduation to blow up your family. It's cool, especially if the person hasn't done anything wrong to you. They didn't cheat on you, beat you, or do anything wrong. Or you just decided to wake up one day and said, I don't know if you thought you could do better, or I don't know. But let me say, I still like Tia Mowry. I still like her. I think she's an exceptional actress. I think she should be more popular than what she is. But I think she did take a little hit on this whole debacle with the divorce. I think she took a little bit of hit. And I saw her wilding out online a little while ago. When people were saying comments, she was actually answering comments and was very mean. She was really cussing these people out and talking about how rich she was, way more richer than them and crazy. It just seemed a lot of out of character stuff that she was doing. So I hope she does find happiness down the road. I mean, I hope she can get over this and find happiness, because I don't want that to define, your defining moment now is you graduating from marriage. I don't think that's what she wants her last defining moment to be. But hopefully, she finds love in the future. And I'm pulling for Corey for he to find love in the future. And I'm pulling for both of their children to have some semblance of a nice home life and their parents co-parent nicely, which it appears that they are. They're very amicable. Hope I said that right. So that was just something I came across today, and I just decided I wanted to make a video on, talk about it. So, till next time.